Hello friends. So in this video we are talking about one of the projects where am going to create a Docker image and pushing that Docker image of that my complete project in Docker Hub. So I have already done this before for one of my project where I have already deployed, and I have showed that how you can download it and how you can use it and for your purpose, and you can deploy it. So there is means it's just an image, you have to just download and start the server, it's fine, and there is no need for you to do anything else. Similarly, I am going to do it for this US approval project. So as you can see, it's already done. 2 months back I have done this project. So recently I have done some changes. I have added a file for a step-by-step deployment on a local and locally deploy and locally and create a Docker image for that. So this file I have already committed in that, but there are some changes would be required while I'm doing that in front of you. So let's see. So this code I already have a setup in my local environment. I have already opened my file here. So prior to do that, you should have already in place a few things, like you should have a MongoDB's cluster created, and in that you should have a data already ingested in your MongoDB. So if you are having a problem of doing setup and ingesting a data or inserting a data into this MongoDB, it's a NoSQL database. So let me know, and you can reach out to me, and I'll create another video, or we can discuss it together. So as this is the one prerequisite, but and also there's one more prerequisite. You should have a one bucket created inside your AWS S3, and you should have a AWS. You should know that how you can create a AWS environment, and you also have to create one IAM user, and you should also have created inside that IAM user. You should have a whatever permission you give, it should be under your means it should be allowed, and inside that security you should have created this access keys and ID. So I have already done this all these things for my project, so I'm not going to do. If you really need that, and if you feel that you really need to understand that how you can create a IAM user and how you have to create a security credentials and creation and all these things, or creating a bucket and how it has to be done, so you can reach out to me. I can create a bucket in front of you so that it will be easy for you. So I'm just copying this, and first thing I'm just going to delete this file, this file, so it is not required. Where I have to delete. Object, let's see, then delete bucket file, this, write down this permanent delete, permanently delete, sorry, delete objects, yes. And then I'll also have to delete this bucket. Bucket, I already have it, this one, so let me delete this one. So let me copy this bucket name. I already copied in fact, and then paste it and delete. So I already deleted this bucket. So now I have to create a bucket. First thing, just giving that name, general purpose, object ownership is this, and this you can see. You have to uncheck that all public access, not blocking, it should be allow, and then create. If you have to block it, then I think you have to give a permissions based thing policy you have to create, and then you can allow in environment. In actual production and actual environment, or in any company environment, you have to deal with all these things. But since it is a small project, or I can say it's we are just creating for R&D purpose, we are doing it. So since my buckets are already created, its bucket is empty, nothing is inside this. And while doing it, I'll do that, all these things here. Okay, let me clear my things here, these three terminal. So first thing is required, we should have a Docker available, everything on this. uh, let's see first thing that Docker is available or not, and bucket I have already created. Now let's see for the Docker hyphen version. So we have already installed Docker, so there is no need for me to do that first steps until here. So I am just doing the last step of the Docker. Let me increase my font size, yeah, and close it. So I'll do what I'll do, I'll have to just start my commands one by one, and let me see what all Docker's images I have. Docker images, I have two images. One is basically running a open web UI, which is Olama, the first one, and then the other one is Ubuntu image. Anyway, we will do that, we'll do download the image again. If there is any update, it will also come. Docker ps-a for looking at how many containers we have. So this container is exited, is stopped, and this container is running. Basically, my open web UI for Olama. Yeah. So let me start this with these steps. Clear my screen. First thing is pulling the image. So it's checking this, if this my image, existing image is latest or not. If not, then it will download. The next command is to just start the container. So now if I'll see that Docker ps-a, I should have one container running. So this is my new container. So this is my new command, means next command as well, Docker ps-a. I'm just pasting this container name here, and then doing it here, and cl, oops, and then clear. Okay, and then just copy paste this command. Basically I'm going inside, now I'm inside my container. I'll have to execute my update my Ubuntu, and then after that I'll upgrade as well. So this is already done, nothing is to upgrade. I'll install curl and unzip. After that I'll install AWS CLI. These are the steps I already mentioned. Otherwise you can get these steps from the internet as well. So you will not have any difficulty in installing AWS CLI. That's why I am installing it here. So it's downloaded. Now I am just unzipping it. Unzip is done. Now just install. So it's already installed on this path. So you can see that which AWS. Sorry, which AWS. Oops. It's this one, and then so now my checking that AWS CLI installed or not, AWS hyphen version. The another commands are like AWS S3 ls, so I can see that is there or not. So it will not be available now because I have not configured it. So let me do that AWS configure. So this configure, and then I just need to paste my credentials, which is basically after I credential, these are my secrets in AWS I've created. Don't worry, I'll also delete this after this video before uploading it, so you will not be able to find it. So once you will done this, no need to do in this one. So once you will set the AWS configure, now if you will do AWS S3 ls, you should have two buckets listed, sign language, and then this is one, the US visa model one, which I have created. Now I have to set up the MongoDB environment in MongoDB URL in environment. So I already have it, my username here and my password, and this is my cluster, which is already which is from the MongoDB URL. So this one, and then again I'll set my AWS access and export the secret. So this is required by the code. Yeah, so I have already done this, and then I'll install the Python. So I don't need the other two, I only need the first one. I'm just keeping this one, and then I have to install pip. After that, let it complete that Python 3. Yeah, in this case I have to give up while I'm doing this Python install, then I have to give my uh, area where I'm regions and all. Okay, sorry. So in currently I'll say that I'm living in Asia, so it depends on the region. 5, and then I'm in Hong Kong, so I'm time zone is Hong Kong. So it's install all the libraries. My this one installed. Now pip, I'll install pip. After pip I'll install this is one of the utility which is required for working for any Python related projects to be work on the Docker environment. So I'll install it right after that. Let's wait for the pip install. Pip is required because I have to download all the dependencies for my project. So we are going very fast in this way. Let me clear my screen. Now I have to install this utilities. Now after this I'll install Git, Nano and Vim. Nano is required because I have to show you that all the files are there and what files if you have to change. In case you need anything required to change in the code, then that's why I'm going to install Nano and Vim VI editor. Otherwise, no need. So once this one install this pip, I'll have to install the nano git and vim. Git is required because you have to clone my repository. So I believe that git is installed, so I'll not checking that git specifically. I'll directly clone my repository. So yeah, so those things I have already in if you find this, let's wait for that to install that git, nano and vim, and after that I'll show you. It's taking time. So now my git installed. Let me clear it again, and then now let me clone my repository. Git not found. Let me see if it's installed or not. Let me do it one by one. Git again, I think it's not installed properly. Let me do it one by one. I'll also divide it here so that you will not get any difficulty. So git installed, then install nano, and then vi editor. So git installed, everything is done. Now let me do git clone again. I hope this is done. So my git cloning is happening now. Git clone is done. After that git clone is done, you can either check first is all done or not, then US visa, go inside this folder, and then you have to install the environment. So first thing is to create an environment, and then activate this environment. So once you will have that environment, you can see this virtual environment. Now let me install all the requirements. Parallelly, I'll open one more terminal. Maybe you need it for some checking purpose, but let's see that first. Let it do that. So when I was doing that MongoDB things setting up, you need to do it as per your configuration, and data insert should be there already. So it's this data, if you'll find, let me show in the repository so that it's basically available at your site as well. Yeah, and then notebook, inside notebook, you can use this code for yourself or visa dataset.tscsv, and you can use this files mongodb's demo to insert the data. So this is one of the EDA part and feature engineering part already done here, so you can use this files here as well if you want to, if you have to insert the data. So it's again you have to change your change it to you as per your configuration and do that, because my configuration will be expire after 2 or 3 days, and it will not, you'll not be able to do insert and anything. So as I was showing that, it's basically go to my US visa code, and inside that constant, here we have the everything already mentioned, like access key and all these things. Yeah, this is my bucket name here. Okay, now go to my running code. Yeah, so still requirement is, it's already happening, so let's just complete it. My all the requirements has been installed. After that, okay, where I was in, let's, okay, my then done, this one done. Yeah, I have just checked one more time that version of the my CLI. So now the thing is, I can have one more Docker running inside the, let me set what Docker I am in the other terminal. So this is my Docker ID, or basically container ID. Let me go inside this. Clear, clear. So this is, I have another one, ls, and then yep, cd us ls. I'll go inside my artifact, because artifact folder will not create now, because once I'll do the training, then the artifact will create. Okay, let me do this inside this app.py. So now my server is running on port 8080. Let me start that. Open. So if I'll do it now, nothing will work, because my data, everything is there, but my model file is not up there in the S3 file, and I have not do the training yet. So once I'll do the training part, and then I'll be able to see it. 100. Let's see. Look, the error is coming. So now, since this is as expected, now let me do the train part. Train. So if I'll see that it's training is happening, now I'll have my artifact folder here, cd artifact, cd artifact folder has been created. Now if I'll see, I'll have a folder for the logs, or this data injection. Data ingestion is happening. If I'll see that, it's ls. So now data ingestion is happening. Now you can see that training is also happening after transformation validation. Now it's model training is happening now on the left hand side, and the right hand side I can see that the folder has been created. So once that training has been complete, everything will complete, then I can again run that uh, application and do that my prediction from the UI. So UI is in Flags API. Let's wait. Let me see if I'm saying correctly or not. For app.py, so fast API has been used, and then for, if I'll go inside this terminal one template, sorry, not template, visa HTML file. Where is that? Pipeline configuration template, inside that visa HTML. So this is simple HTML file code is here. So my training is still going on. So after this training, what I'll have to do, this is copied from that old one. I don't need this. Okay. After this, I have to come out, and I have to just uh, create the Docker container, and once I'll commit this one, I'll have to give my, so okay, now since my training is successful and I can easily see that trainer is already done, let me go and check my bucket. So I should have that pickle file here. So my pickle file is already there. So data ingestion part is completely done. And yeah, so it's this is completed. Let's wait for some times because algorithm is running for the prediction part. Okay, and then let's see if I can do that again. Let's create another one. Now now I have everything ready. Now put Africa. I'll put that Africa. Education is masters, has experience, no required training, no number of employees, I say 18,000. Select a region, I say south, and give me 1,000. Prevailing village, it's basically yearly, I say full-time, yes. And a select age of company, I say 50, and then predict. So let's wait what will happen. Either it will say no or yes. So visa not approved. Now my application is working fine, I know that. Now let me stop this my app server. I have stopped my server. I'll come out, exit. So I am coming out my server, exit. So or I'll do it in the other one. So I can see the Docker ps-a. So now I know this my container ID. I need to give the container name. So there is a command which I have to run next. Yeah, these commands are not required anymore. Okay, so now I am inside this, and then let's see the docker-ps command. I already executed, no need of this command, no need if there is no issues. If there are no issue, or I can say skip this one, skip this step. Okay, and then my container ID is this one. So as soon as I'll put this one, my container ID, and then my name is Docker Hub. So I'll go to my Docker Hub. My name is my job, and then I have to give the name job, and then I have to give the name as and to and US visa ML model. Okay, so visa prediction prediction. Yep. Now it is creating an image. So if you commit first and then create an image, you have to rename your image name or giving a name, tag it as this. So let's wait for that. So now let me see my images, docker images. So I have my image is already there for 2.68 GB for my end-to-end model. Okay, now if you commit first without this name of the name I gave, then you have to rename, or you have to add the tag name like this, and then you can push the image. So let me copy this part, paste it. You should have a Docker account, only then you can push it. So this is for pull. If you want to specifically, these commands you can find it out in the Docker Hub itself. Push. So let's see how much time it will take. Let's wait for some time. I'll come back after the deployment, or the push image will be done, to show you that the image is already up. So now my image seems is uploaded and mounted on Docker Hub. Let's see. Let me refresh it. I should have one more row with the my new reason. Yep, and yeah, it is there. So it's working fine, seems. So if I have to see that, I have to download and I have to see that it's working or not, then I should be able to pull it. So for pulling that command, I already have that in mention here. So either you can use it, copy it and start working on it, and then you have to go inside and change or create a bucket name, and then update your things like MongoDB and all these things you have to create, and collection. So simply it is, try it. You can try it and let me know if you'll have any difficulty, and then I can help you out. And yeah, thanks for watching. I hope you like my video. Please, if you really like, then please share it, subscribe it and like it. Yep, thanks a lot.